Okay, so this is a video that could get some negative feedback because ultimately, what am I doing here? I am ranking the 10 worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL heading into the 2025 season. These are the guys that I just think there's some question marks. Again, 10 quarterbacks on 32 teams, usually you're going to have some pretty decent ones. There's more than 22 good quarterbacks out there. So because of that, there might be a couple of guys early on this list. Like, I think they could actually be okay if things work out. But let's just get into the list. So first, I am going to go Trevor Lawrence at pick number 10, a quarterback who, don't get me wrong, I think has shown real flashes in the NFL. If he can reach his potential, he could potentially even be on the top 10 best starting quarterbacks next year if things go well. I do think Liam Cohen should be a really good head coach for him. It should help that kind of thing. But there's been injuries and there's just been inconsistency. And because of that, he ultimately does make number 10 on this list. Number 9, there's going to be a couple players like this where just, quite frankly, Michael Penix Jr., just a guy who I think is a to-be-determined guy. I think that there is some real potential of him. And quite frankly, I thought he played really well when he came in last year. Granted, some rookie mistakes here and there, but you're going to get that when you're a rookie. Very small sample size, though, so because of that, just the wild card factor, I have to give the established guys more credit. But, I think that, Falcons fans should be excited about Penix's future, but at least for 2025, will there be some growing pains? Probably, and so that's why I have him still on the list. Number 8 on the list, Drake May. It's essentially the same thing with Penix. I'm not saying these are bad quarterbacks or anything like that. May definitely had inconsistencies his rookie year. He had some real bright spots, but again, with some inconsistencies, you hope that those things get out of his system, and also the situation was so bad last year, it should at least be better this year, but just due to the kind of question marks of him being a young player, you expect still some more growing pains. Number 7, Cam Ward. Again, it's the same thing, and actually the next couple of these are going to be the same thing as well. Cam Ward, I really like him. I had him as my number 1 player, or my number 1 quarterback on last year's draft class, and I don't buy into the fact that he's only quarterback 1 because it's a weak class. I think he's worth a first overall pick. I have no issue with this, but again, he's a rookie. Not all rookies struggle right out of the gate, but a lot do, and so because of that, you have to put him on the list. JJ McCarthy at 6, again, similar type of thing, has never played NFL football outside of, he has had some preseason, and he has had a year in the facilities to watch Sam Darnold play and to watch, sit and learn. Some people think that matters a lot. Some people think it doesn't matter at all, but that should at least help a little bit for JJ McCarthy. Personally, I think Cam Ward's a little bit better of a prospect, so that's why I still gave Cam Ward a slightly better spot. But again, you'll get some rookie mistakes probably, so because of that, has to make the list, but I'm still only going to keep him at 6 here for Minnesota. At number 5, I am going Caleb Williams. Again, it's the same thing as all this other stuff. Williams should be in a much better situation, so you hope that can work out. I just didn't. He was far too inconsistent last year. Did show flashes. It was not a horrible rookie year, but again, you could kind of interchange 5 through 9 if you want to. There is kind of a big gap of just those types of players, the young players that you hope take the next step, but will they take the next step right away? I totally think it's possible Williams could take the next step, but for now, that's just where I have him. Number 4, I am going Indianapolis Colts quarterback Daniel Jones, who might not even be the starter. You have Anthony Richardson there, but I just think, given what I've seen from Jones and Richardson, that Jones will ultimately end up winning the starting job. I don't think Jones is a horrible option, and I suppose I could see a Baker Mayfield-like situation emerge where you get him in a situation that is hopefully better than the Giants situation, because most situations are hopefully better than that one, at least from what he had when he was there. Can have a running game, you can have weapons, you can have an offensive line, things of that nature. Can he be able to reach his potential? Well, we'll see. Again, I have him 4 on the list, so I'm not banking too high on it, but there's not the worst idea in the world. Ultimately, though, I just think for him, and part of why I have him lower than those other players is, well, I could easily see him being better than some of those other players. He doesn't quite have the ceiling the other players have, and when I also see kind of a lower floor, I'm just going to put you at 4 on the list. Number 3, I am going Justin Fields of the Jets, formerly of the Steelers. I should mention, I'm just assuming the Steelers have Aaron Rodgers, so that's why the Steelers aren't going to make this list. I feel like I maybe should have thrown that in at the beginning, but that's why. No, Aaron Rodgers good enough to at least not be a bottom 10 starting quarterback in my opinion. But for Justin Fields, again, a quarterback who has shown flashes. And if you're a Jets fan, there is hope he can put it all together. Like, actually, this is a really weird year in that there isn't a ton of just like awful quarterback situations. I would actually say 30 out of the 32 teams at least have a shot at having a good quarterback on the roster. Fields is that shot, but in my opinion, the smallest of the shots, just because I don't think he's played quite as well as the other guys, and I don't know if he has the potential as the other guys. Maybe he can finally put it together. We've seen it happen, right? But also going from the Steelers to the Jets, is that going to be better for him? I don't know. So that's why he's at number 3. Number 2, I am going Tyler Shough of the New Orleans Saints. Which, listen, it could work out, right? But the reality is he was a second-round pick that went a little bit higher than a lot of other people thought he was going to go when he got selected at pick 40. Who knows? Some people did really like him. I thought he was good his last year in college, and sometimes just drafting the player who was good last year is the right move. Is definitely an older prospect, though, so you have to factor that in. Does he have the NFL traits that you would love? Well, again, he was a second-round pick, so like if he was a perfect perfect prospect, he wouldn't have even fallen to them at 9, let alone at pick 40. So you're going to have some issues, but if you can coach him up, maybe it could work. But yeah, you can't expect too much from a rookie in general, let alone one who like Cam Ward at least was like this amazing prospect. Shough has some issues, so on top of that, you can't expect too much year 1 at the very least. Maybe it'll happen. We've all been surprised before. You just can't expect too much. And number 1, I'm going with really whoever the Browns quarterback ends up being. I decided Joe Flacco, I think, is the best quarterback on that roster right now, with Kenny Pickett, who maybe could win the job. Maybe Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel are able to show enough in preseason and in training camp and all that stuff to get the job. Or probably Joe Flacco is the guy here who, hey, it'd be fun to see Joe Flacco play more. He's a fun quarterback, guy who's definitely had a very fascinating career, but ultimately, yeah, I mean, you can't expect too much from the Browns' current quarterback situation, so Flacco probably is the starter, but also probably is the worst starter in the NFL on day 1, but hey, who knows? Weird things happen, so we'll see. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are my top 10 worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL entering into 2025. Let me know, which take do you think will age poorly? Which one will I look back on in a year and say, you know what? I screwed that one up. Probably some of the young quarterbacks will get better, but again, you can never. There's always that. Like, how do you rate those young quarterbacks when you make a list like this? So I put a lot of them on here, but we'll see. Yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.